Pow, 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 pow. It's a gunshot for today. Welcome to the AVG Fantasy Football Podcast, Season 3, Episode 61. We're doing Waiver Wire. My name is Michael Marcanio. I'm joined here with Tyler Revelis, also known as It's Your Boy T. And we're doing Waiver Wire, like I said. We're going to go over all the guys who are worth an ad this week going into Week 7. Week 6 is in the books. If you didn't play Drake like me, I feel you. It's rough, okay? I feel you. But we're going to get it right this week. Waiver Wire ads are very important. This is a little bit lighter of a week. Not some crazy injuries. Not very many things that affect the waiver wire big time. Just a couple things. But there's these waiver wires is when you win or lose your fantasy football league. So very important. I always have a timestamp table of contents in the description of the podcast, whether you're listening to audio or watching on YouTube with video. On YouTube, they're clickable, these timestamps, but you can navigate through the podcast very easily that way. If you don't have time for the entire podcast or you just want to hear us speak on a certain player. I know there's a lot of people last week that saw our episode and they were trying to check out some LaMichael P. Ryan. I guess a lot of other fantasy football shows and podcasts and whatnot didn't cover LaMichael P. Ryan, and I guess we did, so it was much appreciated from a lot of people. So that was cool, and a lot of people were able to just click LaMichael P. Ryan on there and go straight to it. So take advantage of that tool. Also follow us on Instagram, Twitter. Subscribe to us on the Apple Podcast app. Leave us a rating and review on the Apple Podcast app. And if you do, I will read it out loud at the end of the podcast. I've been doing it on every episode. So, there's a little incentive for you as well. Subscribe to us on YouTube. We're trying to hit our goal so we can start monetizing some of these videos that we're making here on YouTube. So help us out that way as well if you haven't already. But that all being said, let's just jump into it, huh, baby?
Let's do it.
Pass the wire.
It's time to
Pass the wire. Pass the wire.
pad the wire.
Our classic pad the wire drop right there.
Yeah. It's Week 7. Go check it out on the website. It's your boy T's Waiver Wire. Week 7.
I forgot to plug that too.
Column is going to be out.
So yeah, if you're not really an audio or video listener, and you want to see our ads, we'll have a whole article on our website, which the link will be in the description as well for that. So that's a good tool to use as well if you don't have time to listen to the podcast, or maybe if you're just more of you're more of like a visual learner. You're analytical. What do they call that when you read instead of there's like audio learners and then there's video learners. I don't know.
I'm a visual learner.
Yeah.
Are you a visual learner?
Yeah. I'm an incentive learner. You have to pay me.
Nice. What do I pay you with again? Marlboros and McDonald's and
would you quit
Monsters?
with that, dude?
What, dude, it's the 3 M's to success, dude.
I know, but people don't need to know this information about me. All right.
What? But you look so fucking cool smoking those cigs, dude.
What are you talking
dude,
about?
You're ripping cigs
what
and
are you
fucking drinking
talking about?
Monsters, dude.
I don't even know
All
what
right,
you're
I
saying.
digress.
You're crazy.
All right, we'll jump into it. So, yeah, Week 7, the waiver wire columns on the website. Check it out. Let us know what you think. Like Mike said, leave a rating and review. Much appreciated. But, yeah, let's just jump right into it.
Let's do it.
First guy.
So, waiver
on
wire.
The waiver wire. The news just broke before the episode. It looks like the Miami Dolphins are switching to
Tua Taglaviola.
It's Tua time, baby. Fucking love that drop.
Tua Taglaviola.
Yeah, for people who don't know, that's Rick Ross talking about Tua Taglaviola.
It was so funny. So the Rick Ross drop came because it was during the draft, but the Dolphins were on the clock, and he was like, "We got to do it, man. Miami, we need a franchise guy. We got to select
Tua Taglaviola."
And the Dolphins select Tua. But yeah, it's about to be Tua time in Miami. They're on a bye this week, and they come back and play the Rams down in Miami in that would be week 8, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's kind of more of a stash play right here, but I definitely think there's some upside for Tua. I mean, Fitzmagic has been playing pretty decent, and for them to go ahead and make the switch, they definitely got to be seeing something in camp or not in camp, in practices, to make them feel comfortable going from Fitzy to Tua Taglaviola. Got me saying like that. But I definitely think Tua has some value going forward. I mean, currently right now Fitzmagic is the QB 11, and he's had 23 or more points in 5 straight weeks. So it's not like Fitzmagic has been playing bad. So I'm just assuming that if Fitzmagic could do that, I think Tua could do at least the same, if not better. I know we kind of watched the game on this Sunday, and Fitzmagic, he's just a gunslinger. I mean, he really is just slinging the ball around, chucking it left and right. But he's just, I don't know, he's so inaccurate, and he literally just, it's like he just drops back and he just throws it up for grabs.
You're talking about Fitzpatrick.
Fitzpatrick, yeah.
Yeah.
So I think
You
Tua,
said Tua.
like I said, oh my bad. And like I think if Fitzpatrick could do that good and be the QB 11, I think that Tua, like I said, could be just as good going forward. So yeah, I would definitely go out and grab me some Tua Taglaviola and stash him.
Definitely. I like it. And if you had Ryan Fitzpatrick, I mean, shit.
I mean, hold on to him. Just
Would
never know
you?
what happens because we were kind of talking about it last night. Anthony was the one who brought it up. He was saying that the Dallas Cowboys should trade for Fitzpatrick because Andy Dalton looked terrible. And I mean, even the Cowboys at 2-4, they're tied first for the NFC East division lead, which is crazy.
insane.
So, but I'm not sure if the Dolphins will move that. I mean, they got rid of Rosen. I think we got to keep Fitzpatrick as a depth play, and then just to coach Tua the rest of the season. You know, I don't see why you would trade away, his mentor halfway through the season. But yeah, I still hold on to Fitz at least one more week, or just kind of see before the trade deadline and stuff like that. But
Yeah. I mean, I'm in a situation. I have Dak Prescott, and then I picked up Ryan Fitzpatrick. So I'm like, fuck. I might just.
I
drop.
guess at that point you got to drop him.
Yeah, drop him.
I guess maybe you don't have to hold on to him.
Yeah. But yeah, you never know what can happen. So,
Yeah.
Next on the quarterback ads, we got Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz has looked pretty gross this year so far. So what made you put him on this waiver wire column?
Yeah, I mean, it's been pretty brutal for him. The matchups and the schedule to start the year have not been very good for Carson Wentz, but he's actually been putting up some decent fantasy points, and it's largely due to the fact that he has 4 rushing touchdowns on the year. So he's getting you some points with his legs on the ground. And he actually has 21 or more points in 3 of the Eagles' last 4 games, and those are against some pretty tough teams. This week, a lot easier. He's going to be at home against the Giants. I know the Giants, it would be like a red-rated matchup, but they haven't really played against anyone yet. So, I don't know. For whatever reason, Wentz is getting it done. It's not pretty, but he's putting up, a safe floor each and every week. I think he'll, a decent little streaming option. Or he was on the waiver wire in a couple of my leagues.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely been dropped from a lot of people in a lot of leagues.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, not a bad matchup this week at home. They play on Thursday night against the Giants. So, yeah, I'm not mad at Carson Wentz this week. Watch this week. He'll probably have a shit game.
Dick it. All right, we can move on to the next one here. We got Justin Herbert. He's kind of one of my favorite rookies that have come in this year, at least just to watch football-wise. But, yeah, I think he comes off the bye week. He's going to look fresh.
For sure, yeah. So they're coming off the bye week. They're going to be at home playing against the Jaguars, and the Jaguars' pass defense not very good. No, I think his stat was the Jaguars have given up 4 straight weeks where they've given up 30 or more points to the opposing team. The Jaguars actually give up the highest completion percentage. I think it was like 73 or 74% completion percentage. They're allowing the opposing team's quarterback to complete. So an extra week for Herbert. Extra time to prepare. They're going to be at home. And Herbert's been pretty nice. He's averaging nearly 300 passing yards a game, and he's put up 22 or more points in 3 of his first 4 games to start his NFL career. Yeah, I think Justin Herbert's a top 10 play this week, and he's available in a ton of leagues.
You like to see that.
Yeah.
Do you think that the Dolphins should have picked Herbert?
Nah, I'm still going to stick with Tua.
All right.
I am
Just curious.
Justin Herbert was kind of the guy where he's like the prototypical guy. He's got the height, he's got the arm, and all this stuff. But he was kind of more of like, I don't want to say a project, but they were kind of more like you needed to groom him. He looks really good. I'm going to give it to Herbert. He looks really good.
That was kind of more what they
Slinging that
said
thing,
coming into the draft or whatnot.
I still would prefer Tua. I know we haven't seen Tua yet. Burrow's look pretty good. Herbert's look pretty good. But I think Tua's going to do just as fine. Obviously, I'm a Dolphins fan. I'm going to say that. But just watching the film on Tua, his ability to go through progressions was really good, and his accuracy is really good. And I think that's one thing that can be a boost from Fitzpatrick to Tua. Tua's going to be way more accurate than what Fitzpatrick was.
Right.
But, yeah, I do love Herbert this week, and he's available in nearly 50% of all leagues.
Nice. All right, we can move on to Ryan Tannehill. Talking about Dolphins quarterbacks, we got one right here. I love Ryan Tannehill. He's been absolutely killing it. I think he put up 30 points this week.
Yeah, he's been crushing it. 4 touchdowns this last week.
Yeah.
You were saying it too. Like it's like he did so well. He had a good second half of the year last year, but nobody was talking about him. He was going undrafted in a lot of ways.
It just was really weird to me because it's like you saw like Miles Sanders, which obviously we'll talk about in a little bit, but you see Miles Sanders have like kind of a streaky run at the end of the year last year, and it's like we all are drafting Miles Sanders in like the first round, second round. Why the fuck aren't you drafting Ryan Tannehill?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's what I didn't understand going into the draft, to fantasy drafts. But, I mean, yeah, there's not much to say. If he's available, you got to fucking get him. He's just killing it.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, he offers a safe floor. I mean, that's kind of what he was last year, too. He pretty much would get you 19 or more points pretty much every single week. I think it was like 10 out of 11 games he got you 19 or more PPR points, something stupid like that. But he's back at it again. 4 of the 5 games, 19 or more fantasy points, and then he has 3 games of 25 or more fantasy points. I mean, he's just getting it done. He's averaging the 6th most points per game this season. I know it's a tough matchup this week against the Steelers, but you as a Steelers fan, you've known the Steelers. They haven't been too locked down against opposing quarterbacks outside of maybe Baker Mayfield.
I mean, look, we're getting beat deep. Baker Mayfield is just incompetent, I will say.
Yeah,
he's got an O-line. He's got all these weapons. He can't do it. But Ryan Tannehill, I do think he could put up some numbers. I said Odell could have had a decent game against Pittsburgh last week, but I forgot that Baker Mayfield was throwing the ball.
Yeah.
I should have remembered that because,
Yeah, but Tannehill, tough matchup this week at Pittsburgh.
I still think it's not
still
the
offers
toughest
a safe
matchup.
floor. And then, if anything, go get Tannehill, and then maybe you can pick up another quarterback who has a better matchup. Maybe, like Herbert, I said Herbert's out there in a ton of leagues. Maybe you go get Herbert and Tannehill. Maybe you had Fitzpatrick, and you had no other quarterbacks. Now you're thinking now he's on a bye. Tua is the starter in Miami. Now I need to find a quarterback. Maybe both these guys are on your waiver wire, and you can go out and grab both of them. You start Herbert this week, but going forward, Tannehill is also a nice option as well.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely got to add Tannehill. I think that's it for the quarterbacks. We can move. Am I wrong on that?
I think you're good.
We'll move on to the running backs right here. We got Jerrick McKinnon. Jerrick McKinnon plays for the San Francisco 49ers. I can't believe they beat the Rams last week. Well, I can believe it.
Yeah, I saw that one coming. Division game.
Games.
It was in the Niners. The Niners just got smacked by the Dolphins.
Their injuries, they're coming back. They got Jimmy Garoppolo. They got fucking George Kittle back. They got Deebo Samuel. They're making moves. So I think in Jerrick McKinnon, obviously we're adding him on here. He's a very competent running back. So, I mean, dude. This is one of the heaviest run teams in the league, and it seems like Jerrick McKinnon's just taking over.
Yeah, for sure. He's more owned than not, but he's still available in about a third of leagues around there, around all the leagues, ESPN, NFL, and Yahoo. But Raheem Mostert, he's got a high ankle sprain. He's going to be placed on IR, so he's going to be out 3 weeks. He could come back, but then right after that 3 weeks, they have one more game and then a bye week. So, I mean, we've seen Michael Thomas being held up for a while. Christian McCaffrey's been held up for a long time with the high ankle sprain. Could it be a series of 3 to 5, maybe 6 weeks where we see Mostert sidelined now with the high ankle sprain? Minimum of 3 weeks, like I said. I think the most could be 6 weeks due to how their schedule unfolds with the bye week.
At the Mostert?
At the Mostert. Yeah. But, Jerrick McKinnon, he's available. And during the 2 games where Mostert missed, Jerrick McKinnon had 14 carries in both those games. Put up some solid numbers. I know the last 2 weeks haven't been the hottest. I mean, last week, Mostert was back. The week before that, Miami kind of smacked them. So I feel like they kind of, I don't know what it was. The game plan of the Niners just got
and then
shellacked.
They put in Brethard.
Garoppolo got benched. So the Niners just got smacked. But prior to that, the first 4 games of the season, Jerrick McKinnon put up 13 or more PPR points in the first 4 weeks. So now no more Mostert. He should be the guy who gets the lion's share of the carries. Jeff Wilson's banged up as well. Tevin Coleman's still on IR. We saw some of JaMychal Hasty, which I think could be a speculative ad. I always have trouble saying that word.
Speculative.
Speculative.
You're just skipping the U.
Speculative.
Speculative.
Tua Taglaviola.
That's how I feel like I sound when I'm trying to say that. He's a speculative ad.
Speculative.
Yeah, JaMychal Hasty, speculative ad.
Jesus,
I know,
dude.
right? No, I'm just
Drink some water, dude. You're about to have a stroke.
I know. Yeah, JaMychal Hasty, just add maybe JaMychal. Keep an eye on him. But yeah, McKinnon would be the guy I want. He's available in a ton of leagues. Maybe go out and try to trade for him. I would try to trade for him right now because his value is kind of low. Maybe the owner of Jerrick McKinnon is unaware that Mostert's hurt. And he might be like, oh, McKinnon sucks. Mostert's back. You trade him something. He might be like, okay, yeah, but now you just got a steal in McKinnon. I'm going to try to throw a couple trade offers out for McKinnon in all my leagues this week and just see if the guy will bite. Like I said, maybe they don't know Mostert's hurt.
Very well. Do it. J.D. Mckissick playing for the Washington football team. This one is like, do I want to put J.D. Mckissick on my team?
I mean,
That's just me. That's just me, though.
Yeah, I feel you. And it does sound gross because you're like, J.D. Mckissick. It's like, the Washington football team's not very good, and Antonio Gibson's the guy there. And, when we think of Antonio Gibson, you think of him as this, like, 3-down back. He can run. He's a former receiver. He can catch the ball. But it's actually J.D. Mckissick who, over the last 3 games, he's had 6 or more receptions and 40 or more receiving yards. So, I mean, in PPR, he's getting you 10-plus points in 3 straight weeks.
He's almost like the Chase Edmonds to Antonio Gibson right now.
I mean, yeah.
It seems like
at this point, it's like I played McCole Hardman in a couple leagues. The matchup was good. He was lining with a slot. Bills get up a slot. He got me 0. Gesicki got me 0. So I know it sounds gross, J.D. Mckissick, but I mean, if he's going to be utilized in the passing attack, this is more of a PPR ad. Because you get 1 whole point every time he catches the ball. He's 6 or more receptions, 3 straight weeks. He's offering a safe floor each and every week so far going forward. So, yeah, I mean, especially with, bye weeks coming up, you still have some running backs that are injured. I mean, it's tough sledding out there in some leagues. And if you can find a guy like J.D. Mckissick who's available he's available in over 75% of leagues, especially in PPR leagues, like I said, go get him.
Yeah. Running backs is deep.
At least he's going to be utilized in the passing game. And,
yeah,
he's not going to goose egg you.
All right, we can move on to the next one here. We got Adrian Peterson. I know these are Redskins highlights, actually, but Adrian Peterson's now on the Lions. Do you like it?
Adrian Peterson, like I said, it's tough on the waiver wire. Sometimes you just need a starting running back. And he's available in, roughly about a third of leagues. He's coming off a touchdown in back-to-back games, and he's seen 15 or more touches in 3 of the 5 games this year. I know DeAndre Swift had a pretty good game, and he's getting more acclimated and getting more utilized for the Lions. But I think AP's still kind of the guy who's getting, as I say, the Lions' share of the carries over there in Detroit. So, like I said, if you just need, depth at running back position, I always say, you can never have enough depth at the running back position. And maybe you don't play him, but it's always good to just have the depth. And
you never know. You lose one guy.
Yeah, maybe, like I said, bye weeks are coming up. There's still injuries. I hate to say it, but, more people are probably going to get injured as we continue throughout the season. So it's just always good to have the depth at the running back position. And a guy who's getting utilized, he's getting goal line work, Adrian Peterson, I'd at least have him on my bench.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. Justin Jackson for the Los Angeles Chargers. I can say I'm a little bit wrong on this one. He's been looking pretty good.
Yeah, I mean,
obviously they had the bye week, so he's probably going to be actually available more than not.
Yeah, he's available in pretty much over 50% of all leagues. And he looked like the better running back a couple of Monday nights ago against the Saints. He had 15 carries, 71 yards, had 5 receptions for 23 yards. I mean, this is still going to be a running back by committee while Austin Eckler is injured with the hamstring and the knee injury. Still slated to be out for a couple more weeks. It's going to be Justin Jackson. It's going to be Joshua Kelly. But if there's one of the guys who's kind of more of the better pass-catching back, it's Justin Jackson. And maybe, for all we know, maybe next week, it's Joshua Kelly's a hot hand and Justin Jackson does nothing. But I mean, if you're in a pinch and you need a running back, go get Justin Jackson, especially a little more value and upside in PPR leagues because he is the receiving back for the Chargers more so than Joshua Kelly.
Right. Couldn't agree more. We're like PPR fiends, I feel like.
Yeah, I'm more of a PPR guy. I talk about PPR guys.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm with you though.
Even if it's half-point PPR, you're still getting those extra points.
We can move on to Damien Harris. The Patriots, can't believe they blew that game.
Yeah, the Patriots look terrible right there. And I mean, Damien Harris was a guy that we've been talking about. Go get him, go be a week early instead of a week late. Hopefully, listen, you got him. He had the big first game of the year, 17 carries, got you 100 total yards. So it's kind of like then they have the bye week because of the whole COVID situation with the Broncos game being canceled. It wasn't the greatest matchup against the Broncos. Their run defense is pretty decent. But, I mean, this whole Patriots offense just looked terrible. I mean, Burkhead didn't do anything. James White, outside of his receptions, didn't do anything. Cam barely did anything. Edelman didn't do anything. Nikhil, none of these Patriots players did anything.
The problem with the Patriots, they don't have enough receiving options to spread the field.
Yeah.
It's like their best receiver is like James White. Nikhil Harry can't get any type of separation. He might be a bust, to be honest.
Yeah, he might.
What a bust.
I don't know. It's still early to say Nikhil Harry's a bust. But, yeah, this offense just did not look good. They were not clicking on all cylinders. But I'm still not losing faith on Damien Harris. I mean, Sonny Michel's still on IR. There's going to be better matchups and better games ahead for this New England Patriots offense. So, yeah, I'm still holding tight on Damien Harris. And if he's out there, I'm going to grab him. Like I said, it's hard to find running backs. I at least want him on my bench.
And with a better game script, I would say that Damien Harris would be more involved. So that wasn't like the best game script for the Patriots to be running it with Damien. Yeah. Let's go to Boston Scott. Miles Sanders is most likely not going to play because of the what is it? It's a
knee injury.
Knee injury.
Yeah, I've been trying to look for some information on it. It just says that they're awaiting the results for the MRI. So I don't know how serious it is, but they play on Thursday night, so he's definitely not playing this Thursday. Obviously when we go through the waiver wire, we tell you about players to not only like put a claim in for, but just like players to keep an eye on. If they're on your waiver wire after the claims go through, then go get them for free and stuff like that. Or throughout the week, if they're on the waiver wire, you can go out and get those guys. But if there's the one guy I'm going out and putting a claim on, it's Boston Scott. Because, we don't know the severity of the Miles Sanders knee injury. Like I said, he's going to be out this game for sure on Thursday night against the Giants. I read a couple reports saying it should be at least 2 weeks before Miles Sanders comes back. And like I said, it's tough sledding out there for running backs. Sometimes you just need anyone with a pulse, anyone who's going to get any kind of carries. But, Boston Scott, he's available in a ton of leagues. Corey Clement should be utilized as well. They're probably going to do some type of running back by committee. But if I was going to pick one of the two, I'm leaning towards Boston Scott. Yeah,
I'm curious on how it will play out, though. Yeah. Because when Boston Scott came in that first week or whenever it was, I think it was week 1, he didn't really put up much. So, yeah, it'll be interesting.
Yeah, that week 1, I think the snap counts were let me pull this up for 1 second, my bad.
I mean, I know he was decently used. But if you started him in your fantasy league, it might have been an 0-1.
Yeah, that first week at Washington. I like to think that
we've learned that Washington's defense
front
is pretty
sevens. Good. Yeah, it's pretty good. The front seven for the Washington football team. But yeah, it was 11 total touches for Boston Scott, 8 total touches for Corey Clement. Like I said, I just think Boston Scott's been like the main backup when Miles Sanders is there. Like in games where Sanders plays, it's mostly Miles Sanders. Boston Scott will get a little bit, and Corey Clement gets nothing. So, like I said, if I'm going to pick one, I'm going to pick Boston Scott. I think it was like a 65-35 split on the snaps that one game without Miles Sanders. Like I said, he didn't do anything good, but, it's tough sledding out there, man. You need a running back. Go get him.
It is tough sledding.
I keep saying that, huh?
No, I don't know. I don't think he said it more than once. Well, we can move on to the wide receivers. T. Higgins. These receivers seem like they're like coming in quicker and quicker, being more and more relevant.
Yeah, T. Higgins, he was a player that we touched on last week in the waiver wire, and we told you go get him. Hopefully you listened and you went and got him, because if not, people are definitely going to be trying to go get him. He had a monster game. 6 catches, 125 yards. And he's like the connection and the rapport between him and Burrow looks good. We said it, during the draft season or during the draft, they draft Burrow with the first overall pick, and then the first pick in the second round, the Bengals' first pick in the second round, they go get T. Higgins. And I said it's kind of like the second coming of the Andy Dalton and A.J. Green. You bringing these rookies in at the same time. They're obviously going to be, the rapport for them is only going to get better, and the connection is going to be there for years and years in Cincinnati. But, yeah, T. Higgins has been balling. He's averaged eight targets the last 4 weeks. And and he's an important part of this passing attack in games where, the Bengals defense is not very good. So Joe Burrow's going to have to be slinging that thing. Go get T. Higgins. I think he's a safe flex guy each and every single week, or a wide receiver 3. Like he's almost, an insta start for me.
Yeah, I think you're right. By the way, did you say it, AJ Green?
No.
I was going to say a lot of people are dropping AJ Green. He had a decent week this past week, but I wouldn't just add him because of that. I would say I would add AJ Green if he's available, because he could be traded possibly before the trade deadline. And if he goes to a team like Green Bay, I mean, you all of a sudden got really good value with AJ Green. So just double check, see if he got dropped, and go to your ESPN league recent activity. You'll be surprised.
Yeah, I would definitely not be dropping AJ Green. I get it. He had the one game for 3 yards, the one catch for 3-yard game or whatever. But I mean, he's still AJ Green, and he's still getting a ton of targets. And
He got 9 for like 86 this past week.
Yeah, and said maybe they didn't have any training camp. No training camp. So him and Burrow, he was held out of training camp with a hamstring injury and just a couple injuries. So him and Burrow never really got a time to build chemistry and stuff like that. I think as we're getting progressing through the season, you're starting to see it a little bit more. So I would definitely hold on to AJ Green. And like Mike said, I would go grab him because either he's going to get better with Burrow or he gets potentially traded to another team.
Yeah,
where his value goes up.
All right. That being said, let's move on to Mike Williams. This is your boy. You love Mike Williams.
I do love me some Mike Williams.
I do.
One of my favorite players, Mike Williams here. He's available in over 50% of leagues. I mean, go get him. Like I said, we're talking about Herbert. We're talking about the matchup is money. The Jaguars are just giving it up like Blair through the air. And we've seen Justin Herbert's ability and his, he's not afraid to chuck it deep. And if there's a guy you want to throw the ball to, it's Mike Williams. I mean, if you look at some of these highlights, you look at some of these catches, like he's open when he's triple covered. It's like it almost reminds me of like those Megatron days where you literally have 3 guys on Megatron and you just throw it up to him and he just out jumps and out muscles everybody and he high points the football. That's what I see in Mike Williams. I'm not saying he is Megatron, but I'm just saying he has like that ability to out jump everybody and go get the football. He's coming off a monster game off Monday night a couple weeks ago. 5 passes, 109 yards and 2 touchdowns. Definitely go get Mike Williams. I'm dialing him up this week. Like I said, it's a money matchup against the Jaguars. They're coming off a bye. Herbert looks good. Go get some Mike Williams.
Do you think that Chase Claypool is what you thought Mike Williams would be?
No, because I think Claypool's just...
they're calling him Mapletron.
Yeah. Yeah, no, Claypool's good in his own, and we liked Claypool. If you go back to the episodes where he got drafted or we were breaking down the rookies, we were talking about how he was one of our favorite prospects. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Mike Williams is just he's a freak athlete, man. He's big, he's strong, he's got, like I said, he can high point the ball. And like I said, if Herbert's going to be throwing the ball deep, give me all the Mike Williams shares. He's a guy if I can trade for him on the low for some reason or get him in a package deal, go give me all the Mike Williams.
Yeah. I like it. We'll go to Laviska Shenault. Listen, if you want to talk about game scripts being great for you, plays for the Jaguars. Laviska Shenault, dude, I mean, say less.
Yeah, I mean,
throw him on.
I feel bad because in the last minute lineup live stream, we told a lot of people to start Laviska Shenault. And I mean, he's been hot like Hansel. He had, prior to last week, he had 4 of the 5 games. He had 10 or more PPR points. He's getting targets. It was a good game script. And the targets were still there. He got a bunch of targets, but, the fantasy production was not. He didn't really put up any points for you if you started him. So I feel bad about that. But I'm not going to shy away from Laviska Shenault. The targets were still there. And like I said, the Jaguars have been giving up 30 or more points. I think it's the last 4 or 5 games of the season or the last 4 or 5 weeks. So, yeah, still Laviska Shenault. Put him on my bench at least. You know,
I mean,
like I
he's
said,
still-
when you're getting bye weeks, you're getting injuries and stuff like that. It's always good to have depth. I don't know how many times I got to say
Why do I
it.
have DeMarcus Robinson? I will say that, I mean, he got 7 targets. It's not like he got 3. You know what I mean? It's not even like he went 3 for 3.
Yeah, he's still being targeted a ton.
You want that. All right, we got – wait, did I skip one? What's going on here? All right, we got Henry Ruggs the third. This is this guy's good.
Yeah, I mean, he's available in over 50% of leagues. Another guy who's coming off a bye like Mike Williams, and maybe people are kind of sleeping on him. Maybe he's on your waiver wire. Obviously, he is in over 50% of the leagues. But when we finally got to see the speed of the first-round rookie a couple weeks ago, he burned the Chiefs for like a 72-yard touchdown. And that's what he is. He's a big play guy. I mean, they went out and got him in the first round. He's supposed to be incorporated in the offense. And like I said, he's a guy where you only need one big play out of him, and he could put up some fantasy production for you. Definitely go get him. I mean, he should be on the rosters. He should be way more on than just 50%.
Yeah. Well, the Raiders have actually looked pretty decent in a lot of these games. So I think that was like the hesitation with Henry Ruggs for a while, was they thought maybe that the Raiders would be subpar, but I mean, they're looking pretty decent.
Yeah, coming off a bye, extra time to prepare for the game script. Like I said, all it takes is one big play, and he puts up some big numbers for you. Go get some Henry Ruggs.
Do it. All right, we got Travis Fulgham here. Fulgham. What did he put up last week, actually?
He put up 6 receptions, 75 yards, and a touchdown. And I have to admit that I was wrong on this one. He was one of my sits or one of the matchups that I did not like. I kind of said it. I thought it was a one-game fluke. But it seems like he's the last man standing over there for the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't know when Deshaun and Alshon Jeffrey are coming back. Rager's still on IR. And on Sunday, you got Ertz. He gets banged up. He's got a high ankle sprain, and he's expected to miss 3 or 4 weeks. So he might end up on IR as well. You got Goddard that's on IR. He's eligible to return, but is he going to return? So it's kind of like, ipso facto, there's no one to throw the ball to. And if he's going to get targeted, you got to keep throwing him in your lineup. Another tough matchup this week against the Giants, against Bradbury. I know you got some good numbers on Bradbury, Mike. But like I said, if he's the only one who's getting the ball thrown to him, it's kind of, volume is king.
Yeah, definitely. Put him on your team. We got Corey Davis. Corey Davis should be coming back to the Titans. Do you think I know this is kind of a side note. I think you should add Corey Davis, but do you think it will affect A.J. Brown having Corey Davis in?
No, because A.J. Brown's still the one there, and he's still, a big play guy. Obviously, he's kind of a red zone threat guy, too. We'll see if Jonnu misses any time. Yeah. And if there's a red zone guy, it's A.J. Brown. It's not Corey Davis, in my opinion. But, yeah, I do like Corey Davis. He's available in over 70% of leagues. 12 or more PPR points in his first 3 games that he's played, or in all the 3 games that he's played. He's missed a couple games due to COVID and then the bye week that they had in week 4. But, I mean, Tannehill's been hot like Hansel, and, if I can get any piece of this Tennessee offense, I want it. I mean, just think about it. Jonnu's been balling. A.J. Brown's been balling. Derrick Henry's balling. Tannehill's balling.
Yeah, when you're throwing 4 touchdowns
and Corey Davis in the 3 games he's played, 12 or more points. So he's doing well. He's doing good
God's
as well.
work.
So, yeah, go get some Corey Davis. I want all the pieces of this Tennessee offense. They've scored 30 or more points in 4 games this year.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah.
Hey, Steelers scored 30 points in 2 games. Has nothing to do with anything. Christian Kirk.
Just got to try to find the Steelers, huh?
Christian Kirk. Did I skip over to Marcus?
I think maybe you did, dude.
Did I?
All right, we'll just touch on the Kirk right now, though.
Christian Kirk.
Yeah, he's been coming on a little bit lately. He's got 11 or more PPR points in 3 straight weeks. Big game on Monday night against the Dallas Cowboys. He's available in over 55% of leagues. And then next week, the Cardinals play against the Seahawks, and we all know that the Seahawks like to give it up like Blair.
I mean, it's insane the amount of receiving yards they're giving up. I think they had the bye week, and I think they're still have the total most receiving yards against.
Yeah. So good matchup. If you pick up Christian Kirk, good matchup this week against the Seahawks.
Yeah, I like it. All right, we can go. There he is, DeMarcus Robinson. Sorry, I just had these highlights out of order, so it was throwing me off. Yeah, DeMarcus Robinson. You're abandoning Mecole Hardman, and you're going DeMarcus Robinson.
Yeah, Mecole Hardman is dead to me. You give me a goose egg, you're dead to me. Gesicki, he got a goose egg. I'm a Dolphins fan. He's fucking dead to me, dude. But yeah, it was DeMarcus Robinson who got the boost and the uptick in targets with Sammy Watkins out. It was not Mecole Hardman, which everyone thought. And the matchup was juicy for Mecole Hardman against the Bills on Monday night. I know it's only been one game, but DeMarcus Robinson played 69 snaps. That was the most out of any Chiefs wide receiver. Mecole Hardman only played 29 snaps. Mecole Hardman only ran 12 routes. These are just gross numbers for Mecole Hardman. Give me the guy who's going to be on the field more and running more routes over the two. And Robinson has out-targeted Mecole Hardman in 4 of the 6 games so far this season. And if Sammy Watkins is going to be out for an extended period of time, a couple more weeks, yeah, I would rather have DeMarcus Robinson instead of Mecole Hardman.
Dude, say less.
Say less.
We'll move on to the tight ends here. We got Rob Gronkowski. Gronk is back. Gronk or Bonk? What's going on, dude? Are we doing this? Are we going Gronk? You putting him on the team? A lot of people still actually have him because I know some people in some leagues actually drafted him pretty high.
Yeah, I mean it's still available in about a third of leagues around the board.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm all in on the Gronk train right now. O.J. Howard's out for the year with a torn Achilles. I mean, we saw Mike Evans. I kind of called it that I didn't expect a big game from Mike Evans. Godwin hasn't really been doing it too much. He's probably not 100%. He's banged up for sure. Chris Godwin is.
Yeah, I think so too. I would actually try and trade Chris Godwin if you want to get some value out of him.
Yeah. But, I mean, at the tight end position, if you need someone, I'm not mad at getting Rob Gronkowski. I would rather have Gronk over Gesicki rest of the season. Like I said, Gesicki's fucking dead to me right now.
Yeah.
I mean, Gronk comes off a big game, 5 catches on 8 targets for 78 yards and a touchdown. He's been getting a little more utilized in the passing game the last couple weeks. I think he's got like 6, 7, and 8 targets in the last 3 weeks compared to the first couple weeks he was like barely being utilized. This is due to the fact that, like I said, O.J. Howard is out for the season with a torn Achilles. Yeah, give me some Gronk spikes, dude.
Oh, man. Yeah, it's fun. It is good to see Gronk playing, though.
Yeah.
Although I do hope that Tampa Bay doesn't do as well as everybody was expecting. Yeah. That's just me, though. We got Irv Smith Jr. Irv Smith Jr.
Yeah, this was one of Dre's guys when we did the stardom sit-ems, or the guys we like and the guys we don't like. But yeah, Irv Smith Jr., this is more of a stash play, or just keep an eye on him. He's going to be on a bye next week or coming up.
Yeah.
But 10 or more PPR points in back-to-back games. He's recorded 4 catches and 55 or more receiving yards the last 2 weeks. So he's getting more incorporated into the offense, his second year in the league. So, yeah, definitely a good guy to maybe I get it with benches is kind of tough, but maybe you stash him or maybe just keep an eye on him going forward for the next week.
Yeah, I'm definitely not mad at stashing Irv Smith Jr. A lot of these, like you're saying, with Gesicki and stuff, fuck, man. It's rough out here for tight ends. That being said, we can move on to defenses. We got defense pickup, the Buffalo Bills. Are they available?
Yeah, they're available in a good amount of leagues. So these are some streaming defenses for Week 7. You got the Buffalo Bills. They're going to be at New York playing against the Jets, who just got goose egged by the Dolphins. So, and I know the Bills' defense haven't been anything stellar yet, but it's the goddamn Jets. That's the one I didn't clip.
The
goddamn Jets.
The goddamn Jets. I mean, yeah, that's all you got to say. We got the Los Angeles Chargers.
Los Angeles Chargers, they're coming off a bye, so extra time to prepare. They're going to be at home against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Just a tough game for the Jaguars, in my opinion. You got to travel all the way from the East Coast all the way to the West Coast. You lose 3 hours, technically. And then, like I said, the Chargers have had extra time to prepare for Minshew and the Jaguars. And some good players on this Chargers defense. Melvin Ingram, Joey Bosa. They got a good rookie out of a middle linebacker, Kenneth Murray out of Oklahoma. It's good corners, Casey Hayward, Desmond King. Hopefully Chris Harris Jr. will be back for them as well. So, yeah, dialing up the Chargers defense this week.
Yeah, definitely. Throw it in. And then we got the Eagles defense.
Might have to be my survival pick. Chargers.
Not against the Jets.
Maybe. I think I already took the Bills. Maybe not. Maybe.
Yeah, I think I actually took the Bills too.
Anyways,
yeah.
I digress.
The Eagles, huh? Eagles defense?
The Eagles.
Yeah,
the Eagles are going to be at home against the Giants, coming off a short week. The Giants offense just looks, I don't know, outside of the game against the Cowboys, who are just giving it up like Blair. They're giving up 30-plus points to every single team. The Giants defense just struggles. Eagles front seven is actually pretty good, getting a ton of sacks. And when we always talk about the Giants, we always talk about how that offensive line seems to struggle, especially Danny Dimes. He's known to fumble, throw a couple picks. So, yeah, I'm not mad at starting the Eagles this week at home on a short week.
I'm not mad at it either. It's pretty good. That's all we got, right, for the waiver wire?
That is all we got. That's a quick little episode right there.
Yeah, it's quick.
We're jamming through it.
Well, I mean,
Even though like I said 100 times. Like I said.
Yeah.
You can probably make a clip out of that. Like I said. Like I said. Like I said.
It is.
Like I said.
Yeah. It is.
Like I said, I don't know why I keep doing that.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think it's all the caffeine I had.
I don't know why you do that. I say I don't know a lot. It's all right, dude.
Like I said, dude, I had a lot of caffeine.
Say less. Thank you for listening to the AVG Fantasy Football Podcast. Like I said, follow us on Instagram, follow us on Twitter, subscribe to us on YouTube, do all that. Go check out the Waiver Wire article. It's basically just in-depth writing on all these guys we talked about, and then a couple extras actually. So, yeah, that link is in the description for the website. And if you want to leave us a review on the Apple Podcast app, that would be very helpful. All you got to do is literally go to AVG Fantasy Football on the Apple Podcast app, click on it, scroll all the way down, and then you should be able to leave a rating with like the stars and whatnot, 5 stars, and then leave us a review. Let me read this one out. Wait, hold on. I can't remember if I read some of these or not before. Okay, ready? This one says it's
Who's it from?
This one says, oh, I think I've already read that one. Hold on. Right here. Okay, Rain on 'em. Rain on 'em says, the best FF podcast. It says, these guys give genuine, no bullshit, no BS facts and opinions. They know what they're talking about, and they've definitely helped me in my fantasy leagues over the years. Wow, long timer. I like how they give different perspective on each player, and I love the breakdown of stats. That is hot.
We got an OG listener, huh?
An OG here, huh? Look at this guy. But yeah, so if you want us to read out, you can literally write whatever you want on there as long as you leave 5 stars. We appreciate it. So you could literally write. Yeah, you could do that. Or you could write.
Mike is so fucking huge.
Yeah, dude, I'm fucking huge.
Mike's the biggest guy in the podcast.
But yeah, thanks for listening. I don't think I have anything else to say. But us big boys are out.